The Charismatic Charlie Wade. Chapter 16.
Sabrina crossed her arms in front of her chest and said in a pompous tone, "Yeah, I despise you, so what? Can't you bear some criticism now, you loser? Everyone in college knows that you married Claire and became their live-in son-in-law after graduation. A miserable loser who couldn't even afford a decent meal in college and a toy boy after graduation. How dare you come looking for my help being such a big loser as you are? Who do you think you are?" A rage of fury was slowly burning inside Charlie. One would not attack unless attacked first. Sabrina was going too far this time. Right at this moment, he received a text message from Stephen. "Young master, the Wade family owns Shangri-La Hotels and Resorts. The Shangri-La of Aurous Hill is just one of our many Shangri-Las throughout the world." Charlie's pupils shrank in astonishment. Did he just say that the Wade family owned Shangri-Las? He responded reflexively, "You are not bluffing, are you?" "Of course not. The person in charge of Aurous Hill's Shangri-La is Isaac Cameron. His number is 155. Please give him a call and he will settle everything for you." "Okay." Sabrina was a little agitated by Charlie's attitude, staring at his phone and texting while she was mocking him. She felt like she was abusing a dog and, of course, she wanted to hear the dog yelp. Unexpectedly, Charlie didn't say anything. It proved that in his case, time did not change anything. He was a loser since college, and he was the same loser now who didn't even budge after being insulted. Hence, she increased the cockiness in her tone and sneered, "Hey, Mr. Class Rep, you're pretty good at putting up with insults. Oh yes, by the way, I heard that you and Claire have not slept together after being married for 3 years. Is Claire actually someone else's mistress and you're nothing but a smokescreen for her affairs?" Ha ha ha. Charlie frowned indignantly. "Not only did you insult me, but you also insulted my wife. Sabrina Lee, you're digging your own grave." Enraged, he called Isaac Cameron's number. He stared at Sabrina and said flatly while waiting for the call to be answered, "I'm going to ask your person in charge about how Shangri-La recruits employees, for even people with a foul mouth like you can work here." "What? How dare you taunt me? You really need a beating." Sabrina growled furiously and shouted to the guards beside her, "He's here looking for trouble, beat him." At this moment, his call was answered. "Hello, who is it?" A charismatic male voice came from the other end of the line. Charlie said coldly, "Are you Isaac Cameron?" "I am Charlie Wade. I'm now at the entrance of Shangri-La. I'll give you a minute to get the hill here, or you can just get out of Shangri-La." Upon hearing it, the man who was originally full of charisma immediately panicked and stuttered, Young master? Are you really at the Shangri-La now?" 50 seconds. The man yelped over the phone and blurted frantically, "Please wait a moment, I'll be there right away." Sabrina smirked as she listened to Charlie's phone conversation and mocked sarcastically, "Hey, Charlie, I didn't know that you're so good at blowing your own horn. Do you know who Mr. Cameron is? Even the most prestigious members of Shangri-La dare not to be so pompous in front of Mr. Cameron. Do you really think you can fool me by pretending to make a call?" Charlie glared at him and said faintly, "You'll know in 30 seconds if I'm fooling you." Sabrina laughed contemptuously. "Okay, our beloved class rep. I'll wait for 30 seconds. Oh no, let's make it 3 minutes. If Mr. Cameron doesn't show himself in 3 minutes, I'll let the guards tear your bluffing mouth off your face, you lying little prick." Ha ha ha. This is so funny. 20 seconds later, a middle-aged man in a top-of-the-line bespoke suit ran towards them in a panic. He was a dog who worked for the Wade family. He was also a very powerful dog. Ever since he had been appointed as the general manager of the Shangri-La in Aurous Hill, he became one of the most respectable icons in the city. When was the last time he was ever so panicked and anxious? However, his panic was understandable. He had never imagined that the young master of the Wade family would appear at Shangri-La, which was under his management. Sabrina intended to continue insulting Charlie when she suddenly saw the guards looking pale and horrified as they glanced behind her. She followed their stunned gazes and turned around when she saw Mr. Cameron emerge. Her eyes opened widely as if she had been struck by lightning. Then, she turned back at Charlie, her eyes full of horror. This? How? How is it possible? Who is Mr. Charlie Wade? Isaac's voice was trembling in fear and disbelief. Everyone stared at him in bewilderment, stunned. The man who could easily shake Aurous Hill by simply stomping his feet had become so terrified and frightened that even his voice changed. Charlie said loudly, "I am." Isaac quickly rushed towards him and bowed. "Young." Charlie interjected immediately, "Mr. Cameron, some things are not suitable to be said out loud in public." Isaac was shaking with jitters upon the statement. "Oh, my goodness. I'm such a stupid dog. Young master's identity must be highly confidential, yet I almost called him out. If I offend young master, it will be the end for me." Thus, he hurriedly changed the address, but still spoke in a respectful tone. "Mr. Wade, welcome to Shangri-La. Please follow me to my office for further discussion." Sabrina was utterly stunned. She could not accept the fact, but it had unfolded right in front of her eyes. Who was Charlie Wade really? What was his real background? How could he make the big boss of Shangri-La bow before him like a lowly peasant? He wouldn't bear a grudge against her for her mockery, right?